PASE honors after-school champions as people who are not part of the after-school field but have stood up for the after-school field in substantive, generous, and thoughtful ways. Our 4 Morgan Stanley board members, Ken, Roy, Craig, and Peter, combined with Joan Steinberg of the Morgan Stanley Foundation, have gone beyond any potential expectation we could have had.
The Afterschool Champion Awards is really given to someone who has been, or an organization that has been very supportive of PASE, has recognized the value of the work that PASE is doing in the community.
I'm here tonight excited for Morgan Stanley to be involved with PASE. My involvement goes back more than 10 years as a board member. Morgan Stanley's been incredibly supportive of PASE over those years. I joined the board knowing about the mission of PASE, being excited about an organization that was working in New York City with kids, knowing the people involved, and I've learned so much over the 10 years.
PASE is truly an organization that is having impact on New York City and the organizations that it's involved in, and that's really meaningful to me.
Only 6 out of 10 children in the underserved communities graduate high school. A lot of them don't get the same opportunity that I had, that some of my fellow colleagues had, yet they still have the same intellect and creativity. And I think about the opportunity there, you know, and also the challenge.
I think the unique thing about PACE is that they work with multiple after-school programs, so they're not just the program delivery point, but they're really training people to be better at it. It gives you so much more exposure and allows you to do so much more if you can train everyone to do a better job rather than just yourself focusing on a small group.
PACE is able to look across the broad landscape of what's happening in after-school. And because of the PACE network, they're able to deliver value-added components to the individual after-school programs. And I like that networking effect. And so it makes me look at PACE as a particularly powerful component of the overall after-school galaxy.
This small organization has big impact on those individuals, but also big impact on the way we're thinking about education in New York and around the country.
One of the nicest things about being part of PACE and having Morgan Stanley as a partner is Morgan Stanley is able to make such a big impact.
We've been funding PACE for at least 10 years. I think that we are excited to be supporting someone who's trying to create excellence in the non-school hours.
Morgan Stanley has been a very important supporter in many ways of PACE. The first person we had who came from Morgan Stanley was Ken Direct. And Ken has been really the driving force behind getting a lot of Morgan Stanley professionals on board. They provide advice, they provide support, they question, they're excited about what PACE does.
Roy and I have known each other a very long time. We met years ago. We worked together at an investment bank right after graduate school. And when I asked Roy to be on this board, I knew he would bring that extraordinary financial background and expertise, but probably more than anything about Roy is he is a fundamentally good man. And to have those extraordinary values combined with his fiscal knowledge and financial knowledge have led to contributions in multiple levels at PACE, but also very specifically in his role as treasurer of the board.
Ken is really out there in front in terms of getting people really excited about PACE. And we have found him to be an invaluable board member.
Joan Steinberg in particular has been a truly valued colleague. She brings a perspective of what she's seeing in the field. She understands the needs of New Yorkers in a really unique and wonderful way. She has also allowed Morgan Stanley Foundation to be an important part of our support, and it has been very, very appreciated.
Okay, so Craig Martone, he's the extrovert. He is so good about talking about PACE to everyone. I just love him dearly. He's like bubbly and everything, you know, and I can really relate to that. So I'm so glad that he's on our board. Oh no.
Hi, Marcia.
Hi, Craig.
How are you?
I'm fine.
See you. Of course, I know I'm your favorite board member.
Yes, he is.
Peter graciously, and really took a leap of faith, agreed to chair our young professionals group. And he pulled together a group of people in their 20s, some in their early 30s, and really created something that we had dreamed of but hadn't quite known what it was going to look like. And so we asked him to join the board, and he has been a wonderful addition.
I think Kenny, Craig, Peter, and Roy are fabulous. They're also indicative of to me, the Morgan Stanley mantra, which is to get out there and give back, and they live out the kind of leadership that they employ here. And here they are on this board, they're driving the organization to new heights, doing spectacular things in the community, but they're really just giving of themselves and their skills and applying it to something really important.
To think of the resources that can come from a large firm, intellectually, financially, allows us to learn from them, find what might work and be helpful in a nonprofit sector. This partnership has impact on what we do every single day at PACE, and therefore we are able to do more comprehensive programming than we might be able to do had we not had such a strong corporate partner in Morgan Stanley.